Hmm. Hi, you. No story tonight, I think. Just me rambling on about my day, if that's alright. Sometimes that's nicer anyway. No plot to follow, nothing to remember. Just my voice and your pillow, and wherever your mind wants to wander off to. Get comfortable. You don't have to listen to any of this closely. In fact, I'd rather you didn't. Just let it wash over you. Hmm. Let's see. This morning I woke up early today, before the sun, the way I usually do. There's a particular kind of blue the sky goes right before morning, not quite night, and yet not quite day, and I like to sit with my tea and just watch it change. It's slow, almost nothing happens, and then somehow everything's changed and you missed the exact moment it happened. The kettle was being stubborn again. It whistles a little off-key these days. I really should replace it. I've been saying that for, 3 years now? Maybe 4. I've grown fond of the wrong note, I think. It would feel strange to hear a kettle that whistles correctly now. I made the same tea I always make. Chamomile, mostly, with a little dried lavender crumbled in, and this part's a little silly. I always stir it in the same direction, clockwise. No reason, just a small ritual. Elves collect those, you know, little rituals. Over enough years, they start to feel like old friends. I sat by the window a while, watched the mist sitting low over the garden. Nothing to report there either. The mist was just being mist, doing its slow, quiet work of making everything look softer than it really is. After breakfast, I took my usual walk, the same path as always, down past the crooked fence, along the tree line, out to where the stream bends around that big gray stone. There's a family of ducks that's taken up living near the bend. 5 of them now. There were only 3 last week, so either 2 hatched or 2 simply wandered in and decided to stay. Ducks do that, I've noticed. Very little commitment to explaining themselves. I stood there a while, watching them do absolutely nothing of consequence, paddling in small circles, dipping their heads under and coming back up, looking mildly surprised each time, as though they'd forgotten water was wet. I don't know why that always makes me laugh. It just does. The path was muddy in that one low patch, same as always. I've been meaning to lay down some stones for, longer than I've been meaning to fix the kettle. Maybe next week. Maybe not. It's fine either way. But it isn't the end of the world. I've made peace with a great many muddy patches over the years. There's an old oak about halfway along the path. Not the one from that one story I told you a while back. A different one. Though they'd probably get along. And I always rest my hand on its bark as I pass. No reason for that either. Just a habit. It's been there longer than the village has, and somehow that's comforting, to touch something that old and steady on an ordinary Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Honestly, I've lost track. The days blur a bit out here. I don't mind that as much as I probably should. I stopped in the village on the way back. Nothing important, just needed more thread, and the baker had a new loaf out, the seeded kind that I like, still warm enough to fog up the little paper bag it came in. The baker's daughter asked me, the way she always does, whether elves ever get bored of bread, I told her, the way I always do, that nothing gets boring if you pay proper attention to it. Same as the ducks, same as the mist. I think that surprised her a little the first time I said it years ago. She's used to it now. It's become one of our small rituals too, that little exchange. She asks, I answer. We both smile like we've shared a secret, even though it's the same secret every time. I ran into old Fennec by the well, complaining about his knees again, the way he has every single day for the past decade. I told him the weather would ease up soon. I don't actually know if that's true, but it seemed like the kind thing to say, and sometimes kindness matters more than accuracy. Nothing else happened, really. That's most days, if I'm being honest with you. Small errands, small conversations, nothing that would make a very exciting story if I tried to tell it as one. Spent the afternoon mending things. A torn hem, a chair leg that's been wobbling since. Also, before I can remember. I finally got around to it today. It took 4 minutes. I don't know why I let it wobble for so long. There's something nice about mending, though. Small, quiet, yet very useful work. No rush. You sit and fix one small thing, and then the next. By the time the light starts going down through the window, something in the room feels a little more settled than it did that morning. I read a little too. Not far. Just a few pages. The same chapter I've read a dozen times before. I've told you I like doing that. Familiar things. There's no suspense in them anymore. And somehow, that's exactly the comfort of it. Nothing to brace for. Nothing that's going to surprise me. Just company on the page. Sorry. I think I'm getting sleepy myself, telling you all of this. By evening, the light had gone that low amber color it always goes this time of year. I lit candles, same 3 I always light, in the same order, though I truly cannot tell you why the order matters to me. It just does. I made a small dinner, soup mostly, with the last of the vegetables from the garden before the cold really settles in properly. I ate slowly, watched the candle flicker, thought about nothing in particular, which is rarer than you would think, even for someone who's had so many centuries of practice at rest as I have. And now, here we are, you, tucked in wherever you are, me, rambling on about ducks and kettles and mud and bread, none of it terribly important. All of it, somehow, exactly enough. That's my day, more or less. Nothing large happened. No grand lesson. No tidy little moral to wrap it up in a bow. Although, maybe that is the point, a little. Not every day needs a lesson. Not every day needs to matter in some big, memorable way. Some days are just ducks and bread and a wobbly chair leg finally fixed. And that's allowed to be enough. I hope wherever you are right now, your own small, unremarkable day gets to just rest. No need to turn it into anything more than it was. I think I'm about ready to turn in myself if I'm being honest. Good night. Let's rest now. I'll see you again soon.